All right, let's get right into it. Picture this. You take 50 of the world's biggest streamers and you trap them inside a giant cube. The goal? Simple. Be the very last person to leave. And the prize? A life-changing $1 million. $1 million. Now, for these streamers, a lot of whom are already super successful, this isn't just about the cash. Oh no. It's about securing the ultimate victory, the ultimate flex in a universe where being the best is everything. This is it. This is the whole reason they're here. We're talking more than just bragging rights. A prize like this can completely redefine a career. Every single move, every alliance, every little betrayal from this point on, it's all driven by this one massive goal. And we're not talking about some small-time event here. This is 50 of the absolute titans of streaming. Each one has millions of fans watching their every move, a massive ego, and you better believe it, a plan to be the last one standing. So yeah, that's the whole premise. You take these larger-than-life personalities who are so used to controlling their own worlds, and you lock them in a box together. The last one to leave takes home the whole shebang. It is a perfect recipe for absolute chaos. So the very first challenge completely throws skill and strength right out the window. Instead, it's this brutal game of social chess called paintball politics. And believe me, this is where we start to see the first cracks form in the group. The rules are just incredibly simple, but man, are they effective. Everybody gets one shot, you aim it at the picture of the streamer you dislike the most, and the 5 people who get the most paint on their photo, they're gone, just like that. And this just instantly creates this insane dilemma, right? What do? Do you try to take out somebody you see as a huge threat to win the million? Do you settle some old beef? Or do you just wait, see who shoots at you, and then immediately go for revenge? Every single shot creates a new enemy. And yep, that's pretty much exactly how it went down. The game just devolved into this chain reaction of pure retaliation. Someone gets hit, and their friends immediately fire back. In a high-pressure environment like this cube, logic is out the window. It's just raw, emotional, tit-for-tat survival. Okay, so after that social chaos, the next challenge introduces a totally different kind of pressure. Pure, unadulterated temptation. A brand new Lamborghini is sitting there, but going for it could mean you go home with absolutely nothing. I mean, the setup is a masterclass in psychological torture. Playing is totally optional. If you volunteer, you get blindfolded and have to put your hand on the car. The person who takes their hand off closest to the 10-minute mark wins the Lambo. But here's the kicker. Every other person who volunteered is immediately eliminated. One winner and a whole lot of people going home. Now, in a game that's supposed to be all about guesswork, the smartest players found a loophole. They used comms. They had their friends on the outside who weren't even playing, secretly timing the whole 10 minutes for them on their cameras. It turned what should have been an individual game of chance into a team-based strategy. This quote from a player who got eliminated, it just says it all. I mean, it wasn't technically cheating, but it was a super clever way to bend the rules that most players just didn't see coming. In this cube, if you're not looking for an edge, you're already falling behind. The challenges so far have tested social skills and taking risks. But now, it's time to bet on raw talent. The group was split down the middle and forced to make a choice. Are you a gamer or are you an athlete? They had to physically walk to one side of the room, locking in their decision. And the fine print on this was just brutal. Only 10 people from each side would make it through. That means more than half of the remaining contestants were about to get wiped out. As you might guess, a huge majority of the streamers bet on their home turf and ran straight for the video game challenge. A smaller, but I guess more physically confident group chose sports. This was a massive gamble based entirely on how they saw themselves. All right, let's talk about one of the most unbelievable eliminations I have ever seen. The sports challenge turned out to be a soccer shootout against the streamer Speed. Ludwig, who's a huge name in that group, got so excited to see him that he just ran over to say hi. And in that one single moment of pure excitement, he broke the one fundamental rule of this whole competition. Do not leave the cube. He stepped out of bounds to greet his favorite streamer and was immediately eliminated. He never even got to take a shot. Just a crazy, self-inflicted way to go. Meanwhile, the gamers were facing a classic Fortnite battle royale. It started off all tense and quiet as players dropped in and started forming these powerful duos. But as that storm closed in, the map got smaller and smaller, forcing everyone into this frantic, chaotic firefight where one wrong move meant you were out. And man, this quote from Tfue, one of the most legendary Fortnite players on the planet, it says everything. In a pretty shocking twist, he and another pro player got eliminated. To lose at the very game that made you famous, with $1 million on the line, that's just a devastating blow. So after all these brutal tests of social strategy and individual skill, the game pivots one more time. The final 20 contestants are split into 5 teams of 4. This time, the challenge is a pure test of memory and, more importantly, team communication. The results from the first round were just incredibly tense. You can see Team A only scored 1 point, so they were out immediately. But look at this. The 4 other teams all tied with 2 points. This forced a massive sudden death tiebreaker. And in that super high-pressure tiebreaker, one team did something that was basically impossible. They had to remember the location of a specific shape and all stand inside it. They didn't just get 1 or 2 people in. No, they got a perfect score. All 4 members perfectly positioned. Flawless. You know, after all the revenge plots, the impulsive choices, and the frantic battles, this was a moment of absolute perfect clarity. Perfect communication and flawless execution right when the pressure was at its highest. It was like this tiny island of pure strategy in an ocean of complete chaos. And that really brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? In a competition that is literally designed to create unpredictable, chaotic moments, can a team with a perfect, calculated strategy actually survive all the way to the end? Or will chaos always find a way to win?